Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our jigsawing on Mavericks. So basically, there's not a lot of lecture this week, as you probably have figured out, but I wanted to give you a lot of time. So I'm basically thinking you're going to spend about 90 minutes, about an hour and a half, on looking specifically, becoming an expert in one of these Mavericks. Now, all of these, almost all of these Mavericks that I have listed below are actually on your reading list. So what I've basically done is I have taken it so that you just have to focus on one, but I want you to, have a look at all of them, either before or after your colleague presents it to you, because again, at the end of the day, at the end of this course, you will have 12 Maverick pedagogies or strategies that you will have either looked into as an expert, or you will have been introduced to by your colleagues. Okay, so that's the rationale behind what we're doing. So even if you started on this already, I would listen to the video, because it might give you some insight into kind of what I want you to do. Okay, so your job is to pick one of the following 8 Maverick choices. Only one. You don't have to look at all of them. Sign up for it on Google Docs, because then those will be your groups that you will share with. These will be the presentations. So podcast, book snap, ebook, and digital storytelling will be Monday during Collaborate time. Or actually, I think it'll be a Google Meet time, but I'll send you out specifics about that. And Wednesday, the 4th, in our face-to-face time will be ad creation, alternative to book club, graphic novel, and creative vocab. Okay, so whatever you sign up for, be ready on the proper day. Then what I want you to do is I want you to actually create an exemplar that you can share. Don't just talk about the pedagogy. Don't just talk about this is what's on it. I want you to actually create an example. So you should have, if you're doing a digital storyboard, you should have at least a couple slides on iMovie towards a digital storyboard. Am I looking for complete stories or complete exemplars? No. And I'm going to show you some of my exemplars to sort of show you what I'm expecting. But I do expect you to get in there and actually really look at the tool and really be able to. So number 4, be ready to lead your group members through how to set it up, and be ready to lead the group for 15 minutes. So you have 15 minutes to explain, and you're actually going to then lead your group through how to actually create this. Okay, so again, it's not just this is what's on the website. These are the steps. You want to actually do the steps and then lead your colleagues through the steps. I want you to, number 5, talk about pros and cons of creating the exemplar. What did you find super frustrating? What was super easy? And what was easy about it, and what was, oh, look, there it is right there. What was easy about it and what was difficult in creating it? Again, just a little heads up for your colleagues. And number 6, how could you fulfill overall ELA outcomes through this Maverick? So again, use the subheadings as a guide. So like 1.1, discover and explore. Just use like those big headings. Don't get into 1.1.A, students will create blah, blah, blah. Just discover and explore, work within a group, those kind of headings that could go across grades. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to just give a brief explanation of each one of these, and then I will set you free to discover and play, and hopefully this is enjoyable for you to actually have some time to dive in. Okay. So ad creation, actually, it's good for you to listen to all of these, because hopefully it will give you a little bit of insight into all of them. Because ultimately I want you to be able to use all of these tools. So ad creation, these, I brought in some Teachers Pay Teachers resources because I wanted you to have a chance to have a go with some Teachers Pay Teachers resources in kind of a low stakes situation where you have time to go through it. So I want you to pick 2 out of the 3 ad creation resources listed on Blackboard under lesson 10. So there's create a donut theme, just super fun. For this one, you are welcome to try the digital version, or you can do the paper copy. So if you want to download it where it says download, go ahead and do that. Or you do creation serial box, which is a K to 2, or you do creation media, which is a grade 5 to 6. So again, pick your area that you want. to bring in. I'm just going to show you, this is what it looks like. So it's very teacher pay teacher-ish. Design a serial box and media literacy unit. You know, have a look through. So it's connected with Ontario grade 1 and 2 curriculum, which is similar to ours, but not exact. But again, just have a go through and, you know, start to analyze what you can use in teachers pay teachers resources and what you can't, right? What you need to change up. So again, that can be part of your presentation. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, creating podcasts. I want you to actually create an example podcast on a topic of your choice. So you can just ramble on about your dog, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but I want you to actually go through and set up your computer, set up the tools of how to create a podcast, and then actually have a little bit of an example to play for your students. Okay, super fun. Again, these are tools that I'm hoping you can see why they're kind of maverick, but how they can be super engaging for our students. Okay, book snaps. What I want you to do is I want you to create a book snap based on your own choice book club book. So use that as your basis. And I'm going to show you my book snap. I'm just gonna move this out of here so I can see it. Book snack exemplar. Here we go. Okay, so this was mine that I created. I had fun. I couldn't find, I should get a better emoji of myself. But, you know, I added in some words. I added in little icons. There's a picture of my book. Again, so this is kind of what I'm expecting you to do. I'm not looking for perfection, but I'm looking for you to have gone through some of the tools and have had a bit of a go at it. Okay, so I can get rid of this. Let's go back. So that's what I'm expecting you to do, have an exemplar for BookSnap. Alternatives to book reports. Again, I think so often we do book reports. It's like read the book, write a synopsis of it. But I think that there's lots of really cool Maverick ideas that we can use instead of just simply write a paragraph about the book or write a paragraph about the character or do questions at the end of the chapters, right? So for this one, I want you to book hashtags. So again, the resource is on Blackboard, so go have a look at that. I want you to look at one-pagers and sketch notes. And again, I want you to actually do it based on your own choice book club book. And here are the websites. And then I want you to create a book synopsis using Canva, again, of your own choice book club. So I'm going to show you my Canva example that I did. Again, so it is not anywhere near perfection, but I had a bit of a go with some of the tools. I put in some pictures, I grabbed some pictures from my own computer, I used some stock. Again, just getting used to using the tool. Okay. If you've used Canva before, maybe try figuring out different tools and try maybe extending your knowledge of Canva a little bit so that when you are introducing it to your students, you can push them a little bit farther. Okay, graphic novels. If you're really super interested in graphic novels, I would jump on this one. I love the Cult of Pedagogy, Jennifer Gonzalez. I think she does a really good job of introducing it and kind of showing you a little bit of ways to actually set it up. So again, I want you to create a graphic novel based on one of your writings. Again, a few pages of exemplar, not a 300-page graphic novel on Frankenstein, right? Okay. So if you want to dive deeper into graphic novels, get Understanding Comics, and it's an actual real life book in the library. You can get it. You can order it, and they'll just put it on the shelf, and you just go and get it. So if you are super into graphic novels, that's a good kind of philosophical book to look at as to why we would do graphic novels, why graphic novels are important. Okay, creative vocab. I think this one, again, this is Betsy Potash, and I love her ELA stuff. Hers is a little bit more geared to junior and senior high, but I think these ideas that I picked out for you work with elementary. So again, I want you to create examples for number 1, 4, 5, 6. You actually set up a quizzes, not just talk about it, set it up. 7 and 10 for your practicum grade. So think about your practicum grade and what what you could potentially use in your practicum grade. Okay, number 7, create an ebook with PowerPoint. Again, I would base it on one of your writings just so that you have something to start with. And I'm going to show you my ebook example. So again, you don't have to be it doesn't have to be super amazing. This is basically what I did. And but what happens is then it goes into a book like this. I was eating eats, leaves, and shoots when I was doing this, and I just brought in some different ones. I brought in some arrows. I kind of messed around with text. I messed around with some of the templates. So again, it doesn't have to be super refined, but just kind of get into the tool and get into how it would be effective as a Maverick pedagogy. And number 8, digital storytelling using iMovie. Again, I think this has so much potential, especially for upper elementary. This might be a little bit beyond K to 3 because of just the iMovie tools, but man, do you have a grade 5 or 6 student that can handle iMovie? Absolutely. And what this does is it gives them a chance to combine their tech understanding with storytelling and character and setting and plot and resolution and all those things that we want our kids to know about stories. They can actually absolutely do through digital storytelling. So if you want a basic tutorial on iMovie, I just put it's like a 3-minute video. If you are pretty proficient with iMovie, you can skip that. But do go to lesson 10 on Blackboard, lesson 10 digital storyboard. I put together a little bit of a PowerPoint on how we can use digital storyboard specifically for ELA purposes in the elementary school. Okay, I hope you enjoy this. I'm really looking forward to seeing your creations. I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with for pros and cons and how you can connect these Maverick pedagogies and strategies to ELA outcomes. Because again, these should be fun, engaging, authentic, real world, connecting classroom to what they're seeing outside of the class. But they also need to be fulfilling outcomes, right? So I think these Mavericks absolutely double and triple and quadruple dip into what we're actually trying to do when we're looking at learning as process, not product. And real change in behaviors and attitudes, and not just surface stuff. Okay, so you can see that your lecture portion for today is about 30 minutes. So I want you to spend about 90 minutes messing around, preparing your presentation for this week, and kind of diving into these Mavericks and being ready to share them with your colleagues. Okay, awesome. I hope you enjoy. I am totally looking forward to seeing what you create.